My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a special guest making his second appearance, Steven Russo. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, Leo?
How are you?
Good. Long ride up here, I'll tell you that.
Right? Well,
Long
let's get
ride.
right into it. So get some fan questions. Brian Teves, that's how you say his name, right? You know Brian?
I think it's Tevez. Or
Tevez, all right. I'm sorry, Brian. I've never met him, so I don't know how to pronounce his last name. What do you look for in new wrestlers coming into the business? Like, what stands out for you?
So I won't call myself a veteran. I've only been in for about 4 years myself.
Right.
But when I see someone new come into the locker room, I try to see how they carry themselves as a person. You know, whether they can maintain a conversation or if they're arrogant or their ego's big or their head's too big, one or the other. But I mean, if they're a genuine person, then all right, this guy, you know, they got to be open to learn.
Right.
You know, they got to be susceptible to hear, criticism or whatever. If there's constant, I know, I know, then
I hear you.
You got it.
Right.
You got
Looking for a little humbleness.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definite
absolutely.
humbleness. Because that's how I try to carry myself, is try to be humble.
Right.
You know, I mean, I can be stubborn sometimes too. Like that's the God's honest truth, but that's how I am.
Yep.
But I do my best to be humble and understand that I don't know everything.
Right.
And learn from my mistakes. Because that way, I'm trying. Let's face it, we all try to be better. We're
Right,
not,
of course.
We're not trying to be, crappy what we do.
All right. Next question from Devin Baker. What do you think of your new tag team partner?
So, the Juckets. When the idea was first approached to me, I wasn't too keen on it. It was a comedy thing or whatever, and Devin, don't get me wrong, I'll do anything with Devin. Right. Devin's one of the most solid guys.
Oh, he's the nice brother.
Yeah, he's the nicest baker. But when we got approached this idea, they wanted us to do this like weird hillbilly thing, and we had this weird name to start with, and we were like, we just wasn't feeling it.
Right.
Just wasn't feeling it. Then finally, me and Devin put our heads together, and I think Devin, well, let's rewind. Brickhouse used to call everybody Juckets. It's an East Freetown thing. And I think you've asked him that question on the show once too, what's a Jucket?
Yeah, yes, I did.
So he called all of us Juckets. And we decided we were going to call ourselves the Juckets. And I don't know if it was me or Devin. It's probably Devin, but collectively, we came up with the idea where only I can understand him.
Right.
So Devin just mumbles and just says gibberish.
Yep.
And I go, exactly. So it's great. Everybody looks at him all confused, and I'm the only one that nods my head and says, yeah, you're right, we should do that. And it just kept growing and growing and growing, and I became Jeb Jucket.
Okay.
And he's Bub Jucket.
Yeah.
And we're cousins from East Freetown. And he has a rubber chicken. Do you know what the name of the chicken is?
No.
Mike. So that was actually Devin. Devin called the chicken Mike, and I fell to the floor. I was laughing so hard. I said, perfect. And so we have a rubber chicken as a mascot now. And actually, at the last New World Wrestling Extreme show, we sold a lot of rubber chickens.
Nice.
A lot of rubber chickens.
Cool.
And I'll tell you, like I said, I wasn't too keen on the idea of this tag team, but once me and Devin put our heads together and started doing promos and coming up with ideas, and we still have many ideas. This is a bottomless well.
Right.
Like just this gimmick, you've seen it at Pat Dillon's show, and it's a bottomless well.
And I saw the promo you showed me too. That was awesome. It really was.
And I'm telling you, we're kind of living the gimmick with these characters. Me and Devin are very two goofy people.
Right.
And when you put us together, we'll come up with some very funny comedy stuff. And so once the idea started coming into fruition and it started becoming a reality, the more and more I was starting to get interested in it. And then we had our first match as a tag team.
Right.
And man, were we over with the crowd.
Nice.
Wow. We were really over with the crowd. I mean, everybody likes hillbillies.
Exactly.
But we were, as soon as we bursted through the curtain to the moment we went over in the match, it was all there.
Right.
It was there. And this is the most fun I've had
That's
in
awesome.
a long time in wrestling. And I'm having so much fun with this gimmick. And like I said, Devin's my partner in crime now.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to Devin maybe at least 4 or 5 times a week now, and we're just coming up with different things, different ideas, and we actually want to take this gimmick on the road.
Right.
We want to travel with it.
Nice.
We think it has a lot of legs.
Yeah, definitely.
And we want to run with it.
Dude, it's nice to see gimmicks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody just wants to be themselves pretty much,
Yeah.
you know? So, I mean, it's great to see gimmicks. So that's awesome. I wish you guys nothing but the best. What's your favorite match of all time?
I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, but
That's from Devin, sorry.
from Devin. Dog collar match.
Yeah?
That's up there. I had a lot of fun. I just had a dog collar match in October with Chris Dozer, and Chris is one of the most solid guys I ever worked with. Great on advice, very, volley and serve. The feedback went back and forth. The ideas went back and forth. We built a feud together, and he equaled my effort, or vice versa. I equaled his effort when it came to promo work and building the dog collar match, and and then we finally had it, and it was like it was the main event of Devil's Night in IWA, and we went about 20 minutes, and we used chairs, the chain, cheese grater.
Yeah.
He wanted me to smack him in the head with a cheese grater, and that was the first time I think I ever gotten a little brutal in a match like that. But there was blood.
Yeah.
I went through a table. I passed out from pretty much a crippled crossface with a chain around me. The chain weighed about I can't tell you how much it weighed, but my neck was
But it weighed a lot.
I was like this the whole match.
Right.
And and so a lot of people don't understand what goes into a dog collar match. It's brutal. It's got to be a slow build, because if you just go from 0 to 100 with all these weapons and everything else, it won't work, or it'll be over quick. And we built up to the finish really well. And we could have picked up the pace a little, but I wouldn't change anything in that match. And I felt relieved after it was over. I felt like, I remember when hearing the bell, I said to myself, man, I just went through it. Because I remember coming up to Gorilla, going up to the curtain, my music hitting, and I had the shakes.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. Like, we built all year long for this moment, and here it is. And we're main eventing. And I remember, it was just, my hair was sticking up. And as soon as I walked through the curtain, it was business at that point, but I was breathing heavy. It was nerve-wracking. It was just the butterflies,
Yep.
And that dog collar match, I'd say, is definitely the newest one that really comes to mind. And I really, really enjoyed working with Chris. So.
Nice. All right. Ken Watson, who is your favorite manager on the Indies, and why is it Kenny B. Dunn? But hold on. Howard Davis III said it's HD3, I bet. Or is it Doc Ozone? He didn't say anything.
I haven't seen Doc Ozone. I haven't seen Doc Ozone almost a year and a half. But,
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah. Since Proving Ground, I think it was like a Rumble Proving Ground was happening.
Has he not been doing shows, or you just haven't crossed paths?
We just haven't shared the
I
locker
love
room at
Doc,
this point.
that's why
So-
I'm asking.
Yeah. We haven't shared the locker room since then. So I don't know if he runs in the same. I know he doesn't run the same promotions I do, but I'm not sure which ones he does.
Well, so is it Kenny B. Dunn? HD3?
Kenny's. I love Kenny. I love Kenny. Kenny. I met Kenny actually in House of Bricks, so it was the first promotion I wrestled in.
Right.
And the guy's like 6'6", but
he's awesome.
But he's one of the most friendliest guys
I've
ever met. He's he's in the national. He's in the reserves.
Yeah.
And
he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's just an overall solid guy. And you know something? He'll bring goofiness down to your level, or he'll make you go to his level.
Right.
And I enjoy spending time with him every time I see him. Now, Howardson Davis III. He lives in the same town I live in, Weymouth. And
He's a good dude too.
Oh man,
really good dude.
And once he found out there was going to be a show in Weymouth that I was part of, he wanted to be part of it and he wanted to help promote it and stuff.
Nice.
And all that effort that he did, he put it on the Facebook Weymouth Mass page and stuff. And I appreciated everything he did for that. And Howson he's really, really, really friendly guy, and I get along really good with him. I haven't talked to him in a while. Shame on me for that, but he, when I do talk to him, though, it's always cordial.
Right. Yeah, definitely a great guy. All right, well, listen, T. Phoenix, I don't know what his problem is. How does this jerk end up being on the show twice, and I've only been on the show once? We talked. We saw each other at a show, and we talked.
Well, it's simple, Grimace.
Whoa.
You're too wide for the camera, buddy.
You got to get me beat up. All right. Donnie Rexford. Why does Shay Kuchu look like Farouk's little sister?
We have other names for Shay, too. I couldn't answer that.
All right.
I don't even know how to answer that.
All right. Jeff Keith of Tesla wants to know, can you give me a few underrated young wrestlers?
Did you say Tesla?
Yeah, Jeff Keith.
Wow. Huh?
Personal friend.
Starstruck.
Just a few underrated young wrestlers.
So, a few underrated wrestlers? Man, I'd say there's a bunch of them. To say a few to narrow it down is pretty tough. There's people I know that could make it big. It's very hard to define underrated because we can be big fish in a little pond, but when you go to the big pond, we're little fish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very hard to say what's underrated where we run.
Yep.
Because, a lot of people do get recognition.
Right.
But when you go...
which one is the young Cacciari? Is that Nick?
Or Nick Cacciari? No, that's Ben.
Ben's the younger one, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. Ben Cacciari. Underrated? He's overrated in his head. Shut up, Ben.
He's a good kid, man. I saw him the other night.
Ben's...
Yeah. Good kid.
I love that kid.
Right?
I do. I love that kid. He's always happy. He's always
always happy.
He is always
That's true.
Always happy, and he's always in a good mood.
And he loves wrestling.
Oh, he lives and breathes it.
Man.
If you have any questions about anything going on in the independent scene, anything across the country, Ben's your go-to.
Right.
I
believe it.
You know something? If I was ever to run my own promotion, Ben would be my recruiter.
Really?
No doubt. No doubt. He can tell you who's good and who isn't good.
Right.
I think he'd be like a great commentator, to be honest with you. Commentator because he's so knowledgeable in wrestling. And maybe even referee too. Like he knows wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not a lot of people give him opportunities.
Right.
And it's a shame.
It is.
He's
still young though.
Very young. So he's got a lot of life left, but if the opportunity presents itself for Ben, I think he would thrive in it.
Nice.
Honestly.
Awesome. Jeff Keith has one more question. Any good road trip stories?
Oh, Georgia. Yeah, I went to Georgia with Freight
Train.
Yeah, Freight Train, Draven Filth.
Yeah.
Alex, Kayla Manson, that's Freight Train's son.
Yes.
And we 2 years in a row. And we didn't do it this year. I was trying to see if we can get it organized to do it this year. But around this time every year, for the last 2 years, we went to Georgia. And we would drive down, beeline it right down overnight hours into, we'd stop at Philly.
Right.
And we would get cheesesteaks because Freight Train's from Philly.
Right.
So we would get cheesesteaks. And it's... 1 o'clock in the morning, and it looks like it wouldn't during the day. Like it's just so busy. Like these two Pat and Geno's in Philadelphia are always constantly busy.
Yes.
And then we'd make it all the way to Georgia, and we wanted to spend at least 3 or 4 days in Georgia this time around last year.
Right.
And so Frank Bones and Greedy Bones ended up meeting us down in Georgia. So they were part of the show. And Frank wanted to stay home at the hotel because, his wife was there, the kids were there. So we took Greedy with us.
Right.
And we went to the bowling alley, and Greedy was like, I was like, all right, we'll play bowling, dollar, whatever, string, And I got to tell you, Greedy is probably one of the best bar sports players. Like bowling, darts, pool. He's just unstoppable.
Right.
So he goes, let me get a picture of Bud Light. What do you guys want? So I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to make some money off this guy.
Yeah.
The more he drank, the more strikes he got. I gave up, So, and it's all these South Carolina people looking at us and they're like out of towners.
Yeah. Right.
We're just making, assholes of ourselves and stuff. And it was a good time. But Georgia's the best road trip I have.
Nice. Okay. Devin Baker's back. How do you like your new tag team partner?
Yeah, I think I covered that one. But Devin, I'll tell you, he's so easygoing.
Right.
Devin's extremely easygoing, but he's not dumb.
Right.
He's open to ideas and everything else. And he's got great ideas himself. Underrated. You want to talk about underrated? Devin.
Okay.
Devin's absolutely, because something with Devin. You got to be mindful that he's had David and his father.
Right.
Kind of, I don't want to say he's in the shadow of that, for lack of a better term.
Right.
So he had to break out for himself and, and try to separate as a Baker, because he'll always be compared to,
Right.
His dad, whether he wants to or not. He'll have, it's just how it is when it comes to legacy stuff. Now he's making a name for himself. This Bob Juckett thing, he can often run with it.
Right.
Now people will know him as Bob Juckett.
Yeah.
And now he's created an identity for himself. And I'm glad and thrilled and privileged to be riding that train with him, because I'll tell you right now, we have so much chemistry when it just comes to comedy, personality, in-ring, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Me and Devin have so much chemistry when it comes to that.
That's awesome.
And we're in sync, and we actually, we're 50-50 on this. So whatever decision one person in the tag team makes, it can't be made without the other one.
Right. And you'll be working for New World Wrestling Extreme, right?
Yeah, for James Allen Troop.
Yeah, Troop.
Yeah.
Troop. All right. Devin's got a couple more. What's your favorite match ever? I think this might be just that you've ever seen.
Oh, that I've ever seen?
That's what I'm thinking, because you already did mention.
Man. I'll go recent. I think AJ Styles and John Cena at SummerSlam, whatever that one was. That one I remember, and I think I wasn't wrestling yet, but I was in and out of wrestling, watching it and stuff. And I remember that as a fan had me glued to the TV. It just the story, them telling the story. You don't see that much in WWE lately, and them telling the story was phenomenal from no pun intended.
Right.
From beginning to end, and. Yeah, that's the one most recently. But anything that I think that Undertaker and Shawn Michaels did, or, believe it or not, Triple H is probably one of my favorite wrestlers.
Nice.
Just not so much his in-ring work, but it was his character, his heel work. His heel work, I think he was probably, if not the top 3 heels. And I remember hating him as a kid.
Right.
And I think Triple H is definitely top 3 heels ever in the business.
Excellent. All right, Scott Anthony. Why does he think he's the end all, better than everyone within the RWA? Is it true he fears T. Phoenix?
I'm not afraid of Shamu. Do I think I'm better than everybody in the RWA? No. I can't say that I'm better than everybody, but I can contend with everybody.
Right.
And as far as being afraid of, the walrus, though, why do I need to be afraid of him? The person I'm afraid of died 8 years ago. Only person in my life died 8 years ago. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, me and that man, we don't like each other. We don't care for each other. We do business together just for the sake of doing business, but me and him don't like each other at all.
Okay.
And I'll tell you right now, when I get my hands on him, and the time will come when I get my hands on him, that people understand why I'm not afraid of him.
All right, and you may want to say something to Shooter Scott Anthony, because he has also added, as much as you deny it, tears in your head. He has control to screw with your mind, as he did at a recent show. It consumed you and you were helpless. Phoenix Army will destroy you.
That fat ass really thinks he has a chance of beating me. He really does. It's pathetic. He's at what? He's been in the ring, what, in the total of 3 times in the last 2 or 3 years? Why is that? Because he can't hack it anymore. He can't do it anymore.
Okay.
You know, and he's been out to get me since day one. Since I've been in RWA, he's been out to get me. Ask yourself, you know what? If we go down the list of my matches in RWA, we can ask ourselves, when was the last time I got a championship match or a championship opportunity?
Right.
When has a championship opportunity ever presented itself? For number one contenders, never been a part of that.
Right.
Triple threat matches for any championship match. Never seen the light of day.
Right.
You know? And then he sticks me in a dog collar match. That's actually the last time I saw T Phoenix in the ring. Was when he forced me to be in this dog collar match, actually. And you know, like I said, I liked working with Chris, and we had a good thing, but I didn't know anything about this dog collar match to begin with.
Right.
And, you know, I don't know why he has this thing for me. I really don't. I don't know why he has this thing out for me, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get my answers, and I will get them.
Right.
And now I'm out to get him.
Excellent. All right, you brought this guy up earlier, Frank Bones. Give a list of 5 top matches in any promotion.
Frank, good luck on your recovery, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry to hear about that, Frank. Good luck on your recovery.
Top 5 matches of any promotion.
Yeah.
I really liked freaking Flax and AJ Phoenix at this WAW reunion show. That one was really good. I didn't have high expectations for that match, but it turned out to be a really good match. Flax can work.
Right.
Flax can wrestle. And a lot of people don't give him credit for that.
Yeah.
He's never, you know, he'll tell you he's never been trained and this and that, but for somebody that hasn't been trained,
he's been doing it a while now.
he's got, you've seen him wrestle.
Yeah.
He's actually in the match I was
Definitely good.
in. And his character work, he knows how to work people.
Right.
You know, you may not be the greatest wrestler, but if you can entertain people and people get their money's worth out of you, you know.
And like I said, he's been doing it a while. So
yeah, fans don't know if, you know.
I mean, he was booked at the UFO show.
Yeah.
You know, which was nice to see.
Yes. And there's that one. I'd say Dick Lane, and anytime Dick Lane and Stephen Lusky in the ring together, they have extremely good character.
And they just wrestle for Proving Ground, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't really follow Proving Ground like that, so at least I don't know what's up to date so far. I'm so far out of the game with that. But Stephen Luston, they had this. I think it was one of Dick Lane's last matches. He's been back since, but when he was leaving,
right,
the fire alarm went off, and they brought the match outside.
Right.
And we thought that, the match was going to stop, whatever. Fire department's coming. They kept working.
They just kept going.
They kept going. They kept going. They bumped on the ground outside. All the fans were outside.
Yeah.
Fans got their money's worth that night. And whenever those two get in the ring together, they know how to work, and they work well together.
Awesome.
Top 3 matches that I would.
Top 5 of it in any promotion.
Trips and AJ Phoenix had a really going at Devil's Night.
Yeah.
I remember watching that after it aired on YouTube, and remember thinking, saying to myself, that was probably one of AJ Phoenix's best matches. Anything with Scott Ashworth.
Yeah.
Anything with Scott. I had actually wrestled Scott Ashworth over the summer. Hey, yo, Russo. We were in the ring with him. He goes, all right, big choppy.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, man, I love Scott.
So one more.
Huh?
One more.
One more. I didn't watch it, but Brickhouse and Jose was pretty good.
They always have good matches.
Brickhouse and Jose, that final retirement match or whatever it was there.
Yeah.
That was That was brutal. But for two guys that don't talk to each other like outside the ring about what they're doing, they'll give you the best.
Yeah.
They'll give you top notch.
Absolutely. All right. What's your favorite person to work with, and what's your favorite promotion to work for? From Frank Bones. Loaded questions, though, when you ask your favorite and your least favorite. Those are hard to answer.
Who was my favorite to work with as an opponent?
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
I liked working with Frank, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Frank, we had a lot of weekends together in Gloucester, me and Frank. And we always said that if we took what we did in Gloucester, we could bring it elsewhere because we have so much chemistry together
Right.
just from just hanging around and doing whatever in the ring.
Yeah.
Every weekend in 2020 and 21. Dick Lane, though, I really enjoy working with
Yeah.
Dick Lane, though. Dick Lane, he's so entertaining.
Right.
And, I know I mentioned on the show before, but that Ironman match I had with him, that one, that's definitely my top 3 favorite
Nice.
matches of mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And believe it or not, Greedy
Yeah.
Bones. Greedy Bones, I've had a lot of singles matches with Greedy and other promotions.
Right.
Not just WAW. And Grady, I have an extreme chemistry with. No matter what, there's no botches. There's no
Right.
what do we do next? We just go, and fans are into it every time.
All right. Now, what promotion do you like the least and why?
RWA, no, no, because that's them and New World Wrestling Stream's the only 2 places I wrestle, really. To be honest with you. That is a loaded question.
It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who do you don't want to get booked by?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who do I care about the least?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
why I always.
Who do you want to shit on this one in this episode?
Say, man, that's a loaded question, Frank.
No
If
comments.
he doesn't want to work with somebody, that's who he's gonna say. But
Yeah,
I hear you.
that's an off-camera question.
yeah,
So
let's move on to Frank's next question. Do you think taking the name the main event is a cheap way to get heat?
no, because I am the main event.
Okay.
No, it's not a cheap way. Whether you match 2 or match 1 or mid-card or, before intermission or after intermission, if the fans are really loud for you, you feel as though you are the main event.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the gimmick I did with the main event, and I've only wrestled X amount of times since that dog collar match.
Right.
So it's been a while since I really flourished with that gimmick. But every time I walk into an IWA crowd, I got Vicky Guerrero off so I was doing an in-ring promo. I was wrestling Sean Lita, and I couldn't even get my words together because every time I would talk, they got louder.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I'm getting Vicky Guerrero right now. I was like, this is good heat. And all I had to do was just bring the microphone to my lips. They didn't want to hear what I had to say.
Right.
And the main event has brought me to that point,
Right.
by telling people I am the main, just being arrogant, thinking I'm the best.
Right.
And just whatever. No, I think that's a great way to get heat.
Okay.
Your match too.
Right.
Yeah, did you pay to see me? Oh, well, exactly. That makes me the main event.
There you go.
And now you can go home because you just watched the main event.
Right. There you go. Put them in their place.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, we got like 27, 28 minutes. We're going to play the name game. I got a few names written down, and we'll start off with Bobby Rossi.
Bobby Rossi? This could take longer than 27 minutes. Man, I'll tell you right now, Bobby Rossi is my number 1. I hang out with Bobby Rossi, talk to Bobby Rossi more than anybody in wrestling.
Nice. Glad I picked him first then.
Yeah, Bobby Rossi is, we'll talk on the phone for hours. I
Right.
don't even do this with any of my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend. I never did any of that. I hate being on the phone. But for some reason, I could be on the phone with him for 3 hours at a whack. We always have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And I actually met him in House of Bricks, and we just gravitated. We're very similar people,
Right.
me and him. And as time went on, we just gravitated more and more. And I talked to him at least. We message all the time, but on the phone maybe like once or twice a week.
Right.
Not even about wrestling. We probably won't even talk about wrestling. We just talk about life, And yeah, Rossi. There's not a lot of people I talk to outside of wrestling, but him, he's my number one guy outside of wrestling.
Awesome. How about Coach C?
Underrated.
Yeah.
Very, very, very. Okay, there we go. Back to that.
Yep.
Very underrated. Coach C, man, if you heard this kid on commentary, and forget about commentary, just the ideas that he has.
Right.
And the personality he has. He cuts promos. He reminds me of like Jim Cornette. He's very, very good. He's only like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Very good. And he comes from, his father's, Wolverine.
Wolverine.
And I'll tell you, he's got a future. That kid has got a future. Yep. He's got it. He understands wrestling, like as far as like psychology goes.
Yep.
He is, man, he's very underrated. And I don't know. I don't know if he rubs people the wrong way. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Maybe it's the gimmick, but another one who, if the opportunity presented itself,
Right.
he would probably be your best guy.
Nice. All right. How about Tank at New World Wrestling Extreme? Chris.
That's the one that came up with the tag team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the one that came up with the tag team. Tank, man, I love Tank. He's
great guy, man.
So calm. He's so calm all the time. I mean, you can see when he gets riled up, but he's never loud.
Right.
And
for a pretty good-sized guy, he's not very loud. Yeah.
But I get along really good with Tank. We always laugh at shows, and and he's actually spearheading this whole junket thing as far as creativity. In New World Wrestling Extreme, pretty much seeing what direction that we're being booked in and stuff. So I actually, Tank, if you want to call it, is like my director.
Nice.
For New World Wrestling Extreme. So, I got a lot of love for Tank.
Nice. All right. Well, we'll stick with the company. Trooper, Jimmy Allen.
Oh, man. I remember when I first met Troop, I'm like, man, this guy's eccentric. He's very eccentric. Always laughing. Always got a smile on his face. Doesn't seem anything bothers him. But he's very business.
Right.
He's very business. He's a very good promoter.
Yes, he is.
He's got billboards. He does commercials. So I mean, if you can emulate a promoter, he's a very, very good promoter, and he cares about his product. He's been doing it for 20. He's actually getting inducted to the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And
I'll be there.
And I've been over his house. He's asked me to do electrical work for him.
Nice.
And Troop is He's awesome. He's awesome. He's an awesome guy to work for.
No doubt.
Work with.
Just a great guy all around, too.
We came back from from our first tag team match with the Juggets, and I remember he goes, you guys got, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. He makes me laugh every time. He makes me laugh every time.
But you're right, though. Very, very good promoter.
Yeah.
All right. How about he passed away, Jeremy Bell? Did you know Jeremy? I didn't know. I had never met Jeremy.
I knew Jeremy. I wasn't expecting that name. I love Jeremy. Jeremy was one of those old school refs. Sorry.
That's all right.
He's one of those old school refs. I can't get my thoughts together right now. I was caught off guard with that one. He's one of those old school refs with that if you were told to go home and didn't, first opportunity presented itself, he would come through even if you kicked out.
He'd do right for business.
He came for nobody. Right. Nobody. If you weren't listening to his 4 count, he'd wiggle a little bit for you, but as soon as you just kept ignoring that 5 count, he would just throw away everything. I remember it was a show at the Chop Shop, and the owner of the promotion was in the match. It was like a 6-man tag match. And And everybody was in the ring, all 6 people, and he kept telling them, "Come on, guys, get to your corner." He counted it to 4 like a couple times, like 3 or 4 times. And nobody was listening. He goes, "You know what? Ring that effing bell. This match is over." Oh my God.
He made the call.
To the owner of the I was like, this guy is
executive decision.
Oh my God. He did, and I really wish a lot of refs would had that same personality because they know say they know the finish of the match. They'll not count the 3 because the guy didn't kick out. Jeremy would go all the way until someone kicked out. If you didn't kick out, that was your fault, not his.
So that's one guy I wish I would have got to meet.
Man, Jeremy.
Honestly, everyone talks so highly of him. Honestly, everyone.
He was a brother. He was a brother, and we lost a really good one.
Right.
And he's the only one I know that fell asleep in the main event. Reffin.
Did he really?
Yeah, he got a very special brownie. And I'm just going to say House of Bricks.
I was going to say, I was just wondering who gave the brownie, but yeah.
I wasn't there for this, but so I can't really tell the story like I was there.
Right.
But there was enough people that told me that he took a ref bump, and when it came time to do the finish, he's out cold. Jeremy will deny it. If he was here right now, Jeremy would deny it. But Brickhouse is on the camera, and he goes, "Is he sleeping?" David goes, yeah, he's out cold, sleeping in the middle of the main event. Hit him good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little bit of edibles.
Oh man,
that's my favorite.
That was probably one of my favorite Jeremy Bell stories.
That's awesome.
That was
I'm glad you told that story. How about Mike McCarthy? You meet Mike?
Massive. Right? He grew his mustache in the last month. Yeah. The fastest I've ever seen anybody grow a mustache. He had like a full-on mustache.
Let me tell you something. Underrated? That's another one.
Yeah.
He is so good, right? That he should be everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yes. He Masshole Mike McCarthy. He I don't really know him personally.
Right.
He probably wouldn't, if you said my name, he probably wouldn't know who I was. But it's one of those things, if you saw my picture, you'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I know that guy."
Right, of course.
But Mike, he grew this mustache extremely. Like, I saw him a month ago, and then a month later, he had this, like, full-blown mustache, like, fully grown.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't recognize him at first because he had a hat on and glasses and the mustache, and I was like, "Oh, someone's new in the locker room."
Right.
He took it off, and I see all the tattoos. I'm like,
"Hey, I think I know that guy."
Yeah. I was like, "Oh."
No, really, though. Incredible worker. Always has been, man. Even back to when he was Tommy Knoxville.
Yeah. Psychology, psychology-wise, it's there. He's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for a while, and he's been around the scene for a while. Definitely underrated. He should have excelled to the next level.
All right. How about on Devin Blaze?
Devin Blaze. I've known Devin for about 3 or 4 years now.
What a worker.
Man, he's
seriously
quick. He's quick. He has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And very awesome personality, I like his matches. I remember I watched one match on YouTube. It was between him and Brickhouse, and Devin was obviously at a young age at this point because this is when Brickhouse was actually working, and that was definitely a high quality match. So Devin's been doing it for a while. I didn't realize how long.
Yeah.
And
over a decade.
Yeah, easily. But every time he does it though, he doesn't lose a step. I noticed.
Right.
Like a lot of people, they either straight line or whatever, but.
Or if they take some time off, they gotta get back together. But him and Chris Pyro, they remind me so much of each other.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm not even saying like the style of work. I'm just saying they just do.
Yeah, just whenever they get in the ring, it's top notch. Pyro can say the same thing with the Hoods all together. But yeah.
I might as well continue with that with Davey Cash.
Davey, oh man. We were friendly when we first met, but we never interacted. But once we started talking and we realized that, or at least I realized that we had a lot more common than I thought, and the conversations are always solid. Like we talk about NRG.
Right.
I ask him where he bought this. He'll ask me about the entrance, what I do, where, stuff like that. Just, bouncing stuff
Right.
back and forth. And, I'm psyched that he's booming with this NRG
Yeah.
thing, him and Shay.
Yep.
And the training, Brickhouse is back training now.
Right.
And, that's thriving, and it's giving people opportunities in that area finally
Right.
to go to a place and train. And it's actually, it's not expensive. It's not like, $2,000 to get in
Right.
the door, and if anybody could take the opportunity to go train, it's actually, you learn from the same guy I learned from.
Right.
My mentor.
Yep.
So, and that guy, man, I can be stubborn with him. Brickhouse, I can be stubborn with. And, but I get humbled really quick when I
Right.
when I realize when he's right, because he's right probably not, he's right more times than not.
Yeah.
About everything.
Right.
Wrestling related or just even life related.
Okay. How about Nakoma Tala?
Wow. I love her. I do. Nakoma's she's underrated too.
Yep.
She's been really pushing herself with all and I'm not going to list what goes on in her personal life,
Right.
but with all the stuff that's up against her, she really pushes herself, pushes that gimmick.
Right.
She makes her own merchandise,
Right.
and she puts a lot of time and effort into this. She actually just got new ring gear too, and I don't know if it's genuine or it's a mask, but she's always in a good mood.
Right.
But you can tell that she's exhausted.
Yeah.
With all the time and effort that she puts into the gimmick, as well as her personal life.
Right.
And
Single mother.
Single mother. And I told her everything will pay off, and
Right.
it will.
Yeah.
She's
been working for WFA almost every one of their shows, too.
Yeah, she goes to
along with everywhere else that she works.
Canada. She was supposed to go to Illinois. She wrestles for Troop. Kahaga's.
She can work.
Kahaga's tried getting her into Texas.
Oh, nice.
And Florida, and she's making connections, and
Right.
she's trying to make waves, and it's just so tough. Life on the road as a single mom, as a pro wrestler,
Yeah.
especially when you're pushing this gimmick as hard as you can put it, as she does. It will pay off for her. I
think
believe.
you're right.
I believe it will.
I think you're right. All right, how about do you know Donnie Rotten?
Oh, Donnie Rotten.
I haven't brought him up in a while, man.
I wanted to bring Donnie Rotten in February so bad. I've been trying so hard to get Donnie Rotten there. And I just don't care who he wrestles or what he does.
You just want him there.
Oh my God, whenever that man's in the ring, he does the most wildest stuff.
Yeah.
He'll do 5 backflips out of the ring and land onto this linoleum floor in front of 20 people.
Right.
He's the most wild guy for his age that I've ever seen.
Hey, easy now. We're around the same age.
Oh, do you do backflips out of the ring and not over the corner?
I definitely don't do that.
He'll hit the steps on the way down.
Yeah.
You know what, Ben? He had a match with this Fatal 4-Way with Ben, and I knew with the 4 people that was in that ring, it was just gonna be. And Bobby Rossi refed it.
All right.
And Bobby Rossi, I could tell he's like, this is gonna be chaos.
Right.
So Ben was sitting on the top turnbuckle, and Donnie Rotten took Ben's hand, put him around him. He picked up Ben and kept Ben there, and had Ben give him a DDT. Ben didn't do anything, just
He just was being held. Yeah.
Donnie Rotten proceeded to spike himself. He landed like spiked upward. Like Donnie Rotten took his own bump.
Yeah.
Oh man, the guy is awesome. The guy is awesome. I love Donnie.
He's a good dude.
I do. I love Donnie. I haven't seen him in a while. I saw him actually at this Mac Attack show. I was taking promo pictures. And he comes up, I'm like, oh my God, Donnie Rotten. He goes, hey, you're the Italian guy there, Polak, right? I said, yeah. Yeah, that's me. He's like, what's up, buddy? Oh, I love Donnie.
I went to a Beyond show, and all of a sudden I see him, and he's staring at me. He comes over. I'd never met him either. Hey, man, I saw you were here on Facebook. I came up to say hello. He lived around the corner from the place. But we talked for a while. What a great guy. But he can work.
Oh yeah. He's always high energy. Always high. He comes out clapping. I forget what his music was.
Right.
He just, as soon as he bursts through the curtain, all he wants to do is just entertain.
Right. I'm going to try to bring up some guys that I don't bring up that I think you know. JB Tickle.
Wow. From what I understand, and I only knew JB Tickle from House of Bricks because that's really really wrestled. But he was, I will say, loyal.
Yeah.
Very loyal to Brick House. Very loyal to Brick House. And whenever, even when we did the reunion show, he was there.
Right.
Not wrestling for how long, since the last House of Bricks.
Yeah.
But Ricky's his name.
Okay.
Ricky's, I liked him.
Yeah.
He's always, just always friendly, trying to give you feedback whenever it needed to be feedback. He'll actually sit and watch your matches.
Right.
Yeah, I can see, where he could rub people the wrong way in certain areas, but he never rubbed me the wrong way.
Nice.
And Ricky, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he comments on a lot of stuff on my Facebook, and he tries to keep in touch.
Nice.
I wish I could say the same, but life happens.
Yep.
I don't keep in touch with really anybody. So,
how about Tim Murray? You know Tim?
Yeah, Kilgore.
Hey, Kilgore, what an entrance! Though,
bow?
But the singing and all that.
Yeah, the theater.
It's amazing.
He's actually into theater.
That's what I mean.
That's his
but
thing.
he does that so well, man.
Yeah, Tim. Last time I saw Tim, I think it was December, but it was like a very brief conversation. And the time before that was when we trained together.
And he's been working a long time.
Man, he was in
long
he was
time.
in OCW. He was supposed to get signed with Vince.
Yeah, he's been wrestling a very long time.
I didn't know this.
Very talented.
Yeah, I didn't know how far back.
And
he
I
actually
love
went.
that. I loved how he just comes out, no fear of, you know what I mean? Of singing in the crowd. Like you said, he does that. You know what I mean? That's what he's into.
He's an entertainer.
Still, incredible.
He's a performer and entertainer. Yeah. He's actually really good in the ring too.
Oh, he is.
When I trained with him, I learned a lot from Tim.
You definitely can.
And
that's for sure.
I remember there's a couple times where I asked Tim for feedback on matches. I'll send him a match and he'll give me genuine feedback. Yeah. And a lot of holds and stuff like that. I still use to this day from Tim.
Right.
Nice. when throwing someone off the ropes, the way he showed me how to do it. Yeah, I learned a lot from Tim.
That's
he's
awesome.
Very, very knowledgeable and very awesome. I think he's an awesome worker.
Right. All right. Also, how about Evan Six? Do you know Evan?
Yeah, I do. Didn't have much.
Handsome Evan Six. Because he'll always say how handsome he is.
Handsome Evan Six.
Handsome Evan Six.
I don't really have too many interactions with Evan. We know each other.
Right.
We know each other, but it's been a long time since we interacted.
Well, I noticed that he was on Summer Brick shows. The House of Bricks.
The last time I saw him was actually at a UFO show.
Oh, really?
Like last year.
Oh, okay.
But that was the first time I seen him since House of Brick.
Right.
And he had a match with Devin, and it actually made Botchamania.
Really?
There was a problem with the top turnbuckle. One of the top turnbuckles was about to snap. And all Evan did was just stretch his back on the top rope. Rope gave up. He did a perfect backflip. Didn't even bend his legs. He just did
landed
a straight,
on his feet.
Landed right on his feet. Never let go of the rope. He goes,
Wow.
that's 101 right there.
Yeah.
And that was impressive.
I'll tell you, one time I seen him in a match, and I can't remember who the person he wrestled was. He hit him so hard, I thought he did it on purpose. Now, honestly. And I asked him afterwards. He goes, "Nope, I barely touched him." I said, "Well, that was awesome because you look like you killed him."
He can be convincing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very convincing.
He can be convincing that he's mean.
Oh, yeah, of course. Look at him. He's a mean looking dude,
Yeah.
but he's handsome. I'm not going to get myself in trouble at all.
But he's very convincing,
Yeah.
though.
Very talented.
Yeah.
All right, how about your good buddy Freight Train?
Man, I wish I could. I haven't talked to him for a long time.
Yeah.
Ever
Since Georgia? Since the Georgia trip?
Yeah. In
Really?
fact, I think not too long after Georgia was the last time I
He's
talked
a
to him.
good dude, Freight Train.
Since Gloucester shut down, we all kind of remained out of touch. He hasn't really been around the wrestling scene lately.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully he'll watch this and he'll hear that we're
I
talking
really-
good
I
things
really
about
hope-
Freight Train.
I really hope we do keep in contact soon
Yeah.
because I like Matt.
He's a good dude, man.
I like
he really is.
I like Matt a lot.
Yeah. He's been wrestling a long time, too.
I have a lot of respect for Matt.
Yeah.
He it doesn't matter if he's in front of 5 people or 200 people. he'll give you the same match.
He did some training with the Backseat Boys, Trent Ass and Johnny Cashman.
Yeah.
Out in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he's been around since ECW.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
he was working for ECW.
Yeah. It's crazy. All right, how about Adam Nessel? You know Adam?
Why does that sound familiar?
The Job Up Network podcast. I'm sorry, Adam. Adam Nessel.
I do. I think
Jabanaka or something. I'm freaking horrible at this. I'm sorry, Adam.
I'm gonna end up remembering who he is after the
All
show.
right. How about Isana?
Oh wow.
She's actually the only woman I have written down on
Well,
this
you're Nakoma.
list.
You're Nakoma.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Man, backstage, I get along. Really, I mean, I get along with her anyways. But backstage though, really good. She actually gave me feedback with mine and Sean's match, and
Nice.
you know, a lot of stuff she said. You know, I had to wait till I saw the match to understand what she was saying. But once I finally watched the match, I said, "Man, she was right there. She was right there."
Right.
She gets, you know, what it takes to work her crowd, and I don't really know much else. I haven't really seen her wrestle in a while. It's been quite some time since she's been in the ring. I think she's taking time off.
Oh, is she?
I can't speak for her.
Right.
I want to say she's taking time off, but she's always
I
there.
haven't seen her wrestling anywhere, so
Yeah,
maybe you're right.
And but like I said, I can't speak for her, but she's always there.
Right.
She's always at RWA shows, and it's always friendly. It's always hugs. Hi, honey. How are you?
Yep.
And
Awesome. All right. How about Hot Shot Deshaun?
Deshaun, I got no problems with Deshaun. A lot of people have their feelings about Deshaun. Me personally, I have no problems with Deshaun. I like Deshaun. I think sometimes he can be his own worst enemy.
Okay.
But other than that, though, he's a great kid.
Right.
You know, he was a great worker when he was wrestling. He was a great worker when he was training. He wanted to excel. He wanted to be the best.
Right.
You know, and that's what you really want when you're someone his age, is try to be the best. And but he's been out of the scene for a while. I think he's been doing other stuff, very low key.
Yeah.
Like TCW and stuff.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of camera work. But,
Right.
But there is a lot of crowd work, and I think he's been doing stuff there. But I haven't talked to Deshaun in quite some time myself. But when I do talk to him, and it was the first time I saw him, at least a year and a half, I think, over the winter. And I told him I missed him and I loved him.
Nice.
You know.
Excellent. All right. How about well, we talked about T Phoenix. How about AJP? AJ Phoenix.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Oh, okay.
Give it another 5 years and he'll be stomping all over the place too. No, AJ Phoenix, that kid's got a future.
Big time.
That kid's got a future. I told him this. We had.
He does.
I think he said this on the show once too. We had dinner. It was me, him, and Rossi, and we went to Fuddruckers on Route 1. And I remember saying this to him. I said, listen, a lot of kids your age, they care about getting their own shit in.
Right.
They care about just, themselves. What can I do? I need to get all my moveset in. I've seen Austin win matches, but in the same sentence, get his opponent over.
Right.
He really works to get his opponent over. He wants to, from the way I see it, he wants to make his match count with everybody involved, including the referee.
Right.
So he's got a solid future. If he pursues hard at this and makes waves and starts, branching out of the scene, I think he's got potential.
I agree.
He could make it.
I agree. He's now part of the unit.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
which that's a pretty big thing for a young kid.
JT Dunn and
JT Dunn, Danny Miles, Trips.
Yep. Yep.
And now AJ Phoenix.
And now he's rolling with those guys. And those guys actually were in Ring of Honor and stuff like that.
Chaotic and all that. That's so and you're right though. He definitely is somebody to keep your eye on in this area.
Yeah.
Not underrated.
No.
Not at all, because I think he's really
but not overrated
really
either.
good. No, not overrated.
But definitely
at
not
all.
overrated either.
I think he's an young upcoming star.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah. All right, how about Logan Chambers?
Oh, Judge?
Yeah.
Man, that guy, that's personality right there.
Yeah.
Sir, That's personality right there. What a strong guy.
Yeah. He wrestled Malonis, man, and
Did he throw him around?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I mean, think about that. Throw a Bryant.
He had this like club that like what's his name? The Sheik used to.
Oh yeah,
used to use
Persian club.
Yeah, the Persian club.
Yeah.
He had this club there, and the thing fell over and landed on my toe. I thought it broke my toe.
Right.
And I remember Chris Cruz was standing right there. He's like, "What?" I was like, I said, "Pick that up real quick." He picked it up. He was like, "What?"
Right.
This isn't a gimmick.
Right.
I said, dude, he was over there swinging it like 20 minutes ago. The guy's as strong as an ox, man. And judges. He's
Nice. All right. Well, we'll go with another name. How about Jack Connor? House of Bricks. No.
I like Jack. That's a gray area though.
Okay. That's cool. How about John Casey, NCW?
Don't know him.
Okay.
Oh, JC?
Yeah, JC.
Oh, I met him a couple times.
Okay.
I met him I don't know him personally though.
All right. Real quick, Scott Ashworth.
Love him.
Brickhouse Baker.
Brother, mentor.
No doubt.
Mentor, brother, friend. He besides Rossi, he's the other one.
Nice.
Him and Hot Boy, whatever his name is.
Okay. Well, how about you have anything you want to plug? Any upcoming show, any match or anything?
Just you'll see me at RWA, New World Wrestling Extreme. Book the Junkets. The Junkets is an upcoming thing. I would like people to hop on the wave. That's the next. That's where we're pushing hard for that.
Hit up WFA. They put a post out the other day looking for wrestlers. Seriously, send them an email, man.
We definitely
really.
will. We'll get on there.
Mike Hollow, Scott Reed,
Yeah.
WFA.
I'll talk to Devin as soon as I get out of here.
Oh, definitely, dude. Steve, thanks, man.
Leo, thank you.
Awesome. Guys, we're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.